Okie dokie, let's try and get this thing, and we'll try and see what I can do with this thing right here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna charge this thing up. First of all, I'm gonna check and see if there's anything in here. Go take the caps off there. Like that. And then we'll go hook one up to the high side. And we'll hook the low side up. Man. Okay, so let's go this, let's check this out. Now the system is off, so we got pressure in here. I know we got pressure in here because we left it with pressure in there. You can see that, we got pressure, see? Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna charge this a little bit. We're gonna charge it up. So I'm gonna take my meter here and get a temperature reading. So let's put this guy up on here. Put this on the suction line right here. See if I can get this thing to go on here. Okay. Take some of this tape off. Like so. And then we will be ready to go. Okay, got that on there. Take that up there, like so. And we're gonna take this and we're gonna plug this in here, right here, like so. Wow. Okay, so we're gonna have that, so we can see that. We're right about 80 degrees here, so let's fire it up. Let's check this out over here, and we'll put this guy right here, because this is where we're gonna use. Okay, we're gonna charge it up a little bit. So, we're gonna go. Okay, so we got this going on here. Like this. See that? Okay, so we don't have enough in here, so I'm gonna put this container up here on liquid. And we're gonna charge this thing up. We're gonna turn that on. And we're gonna slowly put some in. Whoops, sorry about that. So we're just gonna let it go in, and we're gonna charge it up, and then we're gonna check everything. I will probably get a thermometer here, and we'll see how it goes. Sorry, keep bouncing that around. It shouldn't go over 50. So if it's 25, I shouldn't be over 75. So that's about where it should be. So if the operating pressure is 20, oh look, operation pressure is down to 0. Let's just pour some more in there. This thing is a little bit touchy. So let me set that down there. Let me get another thermometer here. We'll turn this guy on. And we'll put this guy right here. So we can see exactly what's going on here with this. How's that? That gonna work? Yep, that's gonna work. Okay. So let's see what we got here. We got some. We're right about 2. looking right about 20 pounds. So generally, I'm going to try and get this up to about 50 pounds, 55 pounds is where I want to run it. Okay, so let it run there for a little bit. Give me my purple. And let's take a look. Yeah, I can go like this, and I'm going to move this up a little bit. Okay, so we're going to take some of this and we're going to go take a look at this now. Right about 48. So we're right about 48 now. Still got to go a little bit more. Let it run for a little bit. Make sure this is open. Yeah, it's open. Okay, so I'm going to get my, oh, I can't get my, I need my PT chart. I need a PT chart. So, forward this one. Big numbers. What's this one? Pouring refrigerant. Says here for 22. Let's get the pressure here. Let's see how we're doing. And then we'll come down and we'll figure this out. So right here. So we'll set this thing right about here, let's say. Right about there. How's that? Will you be able to see that? Good. Okay, so it looks like we've got, looks like it's about 45 pounds. So 45 pounds on our PT chart. Is right here, 45, no, 45, 43 pounds is 20 degrees. So what's happening in here is 20 degrees. Okay, so what's happening on the suction line right here is 61. So we've got about 40 degrees superheat. And we're going to have to add some more, I think. Wait, what the heck's going on? Why is this thing moving around? Well, we're going to have to let it normalize for a little bit. Okay, so as it normalizes, we're down to about 51 degrees, and it looks like we have, this thing's going all over the place, huh? So we have about 50, 60, 5. We have about 65 pounds. So we're going to go to 65 pounds. 61, 65. So we got about 37 degrees. So 37 degrees, and we'll write this right up here. 37. And we have got, right here, we've got 48 on the suction line. So the suction line, 48. And okay, so if we take that, we've got 8 minus 7 is, as you can see, we've got 8, there's 1, and we've got 11 degrees superheat. Okay, how's that? How's that grab you? Is that pretty good? So what we're going to do now is since we've got the superheat already set, even coming up more, it's about 70. So we're at 70. So we're at 40. We're about 41 and 49, so we've probably got it pretty close to where we need to be. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take some of this out and I'm going to put it back into here because this is the high side. And we're going to dump some in, and what we're going to do is we're going to recover what's left in the system into this tank with the recovery machine. So here we go. We're just letting it, we're just pushing it in here into the tank as much as we can. Right? Looks like it's there it goes. Okay, so we're pushing that in there, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna leave that sit there. And then what we'll do is I'll get another hose and we'll go ahead and do this with this other one. Now let's go get this other one, okay? Okay, so how we doing? We able to shut this thing off yet? I'm going to go ahead and turn this off, like so. Turn it off. And I'm going to turn the whole thing on right there. See, I got the whole thing off right now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook this line here. I'll turn that off, like so. And we're going to hook this line up to here. And we'll begin the recovery process. So it's going to go into the in valve on the recovery machine. And on the out valve, we will be going to the tank. So I'm going to walk through this with you a little bit, and then we're going to recover what's left in here. Okay? So we're going to put that over here on this guy. And what we'll do is we're going to open this like so. And we're going to open this, make sure we're clear. Okay, so we got the output open and the tank open. Okay, so now what we're able to do is going to start this thing up. So here we go, we're going to start up. And then when we start it, we're going to start opening this valve. So as we open the valve, you're going to see the pressure start to go up. We're going to do it slowly because we're going to put in liquid. Here it goes up. So we're going to run it a little bit. And we're going to watch it, and then we're going to fully open it. Once it's fully open, then we're going to take the recovery knob, because the last operation was the purge. So we're going to put this to recover. And then we're also going to open these valves up. So we can open them up slowly. Put that back on liquid. I got the liquid in here. Open these valves up and pull the liquid out first. And that's why the valve is on liquid right there. Okay. So we'll come back over here and we'll slowly move this up. As we can see, we're getting a pressure in here. you go too fast, it's going to stall the machine. The machine will stop. And we don't want to stop the machine. We're going to keep it going. So I'm going to slowly move this up. Open up top. There we go. Okay, so it's fully open. This is set to recover, and this is open. We are on a high pressure. We don't need to be. Okay, so we got these on here. Now everything from here is being transported in here right into the tank. Into the hose, okay? So we're going to watch the gauges here. And we're going to watch the pressures go down on here. And then once we get these down to 0, we can lock this off. And then we can purge this out into the tank. Okay? We'll just watch it for a minute and then we'll down into 400 microns, 500 microns. Okay, see where we go. How we going? How we doing here? See, it's already down to about 20, less than 20. Already down to about 10 pounds. Okay, so that's all good there. We'll just keep going. Keep floating around here. I'm going to go a little bit past 0 because the residual pressure is going to be left in there. Okay? Like that. Okay, so we're down about 0 right now. So I'm going to let it run for a little bit, a few more seconds, and I'm going to close it off. So once I see it goes down below 0 a little bit, I'm going to close it off. So it's about there. So because the pressure will go up. So once I've got these valves closed on the manifold, this thing is locked off now. So now we can go over and deal with this thing. Okay, so we've locked this off. So this should be closed. So we can close this off. Okay, so it's taking what's left in that hose, recovering that. Okay, now we're going to take this and we're going to put purge. So it's taking everything out of here and putting it in there. So we want to empty this machine out because there's some storage in here. We want to make sure we get all of the refrigerant into the thing. So at this point we're going to look at the gauge right here. And as you can see, we've got it. We've got this. So I'm going to go ahead and close the tank off and close this guy off. Okay, so now we've got everything that's put in there. All this, so this is completely empty. As you can see, the gauge went up a little bit. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use this hose here. And I'm going to put this on the vacuum pump over here. So we're going to pull it into a vacuum and I'll show you how we're going to pull it into a vacuum real quick. Okay? This is all real quick, okay? So we're going to take this here and this, and then we're going to take this guy here. See this guy right here? We're we're gonna take this guy and we're gonna hang it up here for all to see. Put it right there. And we're gonna put this guy in here on the back. And we're gonna put that guy in there like this. I'm gonna turn this on. And we're gonna take this one right here. And we're gonna put that guy on there like so. Okay? Once we got that on there, we can turn on the vacuum pump. So let's turn on this vacuum pump. And we'll open these valves up. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's starting to really do some work when I open those valves up. Okay, so at this point, if you look, we're down to 0, our pressure. But we're not reading far enough because we have to go to a different scale now. We gotta go to the micron gauge and the micron scale. So we'll let it sit there. It's not even reading yet, so there's still too much pressure in there. Even though the gauges say 0, this has got to start reading. So we're gonna start reading that here in a second. So it's pulling deeper and deeper into a vacuum right now. It's starting to pull way down. Give it a second here. Make sure all the hoses are tight. Right here. See it right there? It's starting to pull down into a vacuum on the micron range now. About 4,000. We'll let it sit here for a little bit. We're going to watch this at 1400. Now here's where you might want to do the triple evacuation. About 1500 microns, and then disconnect and sweep it through with nitrogen. And then pull it down again, and then do that 3 times. Each time pulling it down to about 1500 microns. So we're looking like about 840. Like I say, you need to go down into a deeper vacuum because your gauges are still going to read 0. I don't know if you get a good shot of that, but that's reading 0. That's 0, but we're still not there yet. We're about 570 with this unit. I'm going to try and get it down below 500. This one has got some leaks in it, so it won't go down below any lower than 480 or so. But we're pulling down into a good vacuum. The work is starting to get done on this. The moisture in here is being boiled off, which there isn't really any moisture because it's in controlled environment. So we're right about 510 microns. So we'll watch it here for a second. We're at 500 microns. See that? 495. We're pulling down into a really good vacuum. This is a really good vacuum. So we're at 490. And what we can do now is I can take this and I can valve this thing off because we're pretty good. We're at 485 microns. So I'm going to valve this off, isolate this, and as you know, this unit is still off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off the vacuum pump. Come over here, turn this baby off, because we're done with that. Okay, so I'm going to take my hose and I'm going to break vacuum with some R22 here. So while the unit's still off, what we're going to do is I'm going to break vacuum and I'm going to dump liquid in the high side, because in the high side what's going to happen is that liquid's going to drop in and it's go into the condenser. It's not going to be anywhere, it's going to sit on top of the compressor, but it's not going to affect it because it's on the discharge part of the compressor. So in order to break vacuum, this is how we're going to do it. Take this, put this thing here. So as we do this, we're going to see this gauge go up. Let me bring this up closer to you so you can see. As you can see, this is at 0, this is at 0, so I'm going to break vacuum. First of all, I'm going to open the tank, and then I'm going to purge that out of there. Because when I pulled it off the vacuum pump, it drew in some air. We don't want any air in the system, so as I drop in some liquid in this side, you're going to see this side start to raise up as the pressure equalizes through the system. So here we go. We're dumping in liquid. See that gauge starting to go up here? Now I can continue to do this on smaller system. Once you hear it stop, you can hear the refrigerant going in. And once you hear it stop, usually a good sign where it's going to be okay to start the air conditioning system up now. So once I got pressure in there now I can start this, and I can start the process of charging it back again. So as we start it, we're going to watch our pressures. And we're going to take a good look at these pressures and see how close we are. Now we obviously messed with the charge, so everything's going to be off. So we're going to need to change our numbers here for our first reading. So let's check here. So we have a suction line. This is going to take a while. You're going to have to let this thing normalize as it runs. So it's going to take a little while for it to show some readings. So this takes a while. This is pretty time consuming. Looks like we probably overcharged it a little bit. Yeah, our height side pressure is almost 300. I would say we did, yeah. So if we look at our pressure here, you see that? We're about 68 pounds. So if I go here to the 68 pound mark on R22, we're reading 40 degree evaporator right here. 40 degrees inside there. You can see that. Those little things in there. They're bubbling away. And our suction line is at 49. So we have 49 here, and we have 40 in there. Let's see if it moves down. Yeah, so it's pretty close there. It's about 9. So if I go 40 here, and 48 there. So where's my... Okay, let's do this right like this. So our suction line temperature is 48, and our saturation pressure temperature is at 40. So that gives us 8 degrees. 8 degrees superheat. See that? Okay, how we doing? Is that good? So now we just did that. We just did the whole cycle all over again.